Twitter suspends more than 300 accounts from the supporter base of presidential bet Bongbong Marcos for violating the company's platform manipulation and spam policy. In an email, Twitter says it reviewed the hashtags and accounts mentioned in a Rappler investigation. Rappler earlier found an emerging Marcos network composed mainly of newly created and revived Twitter accounts. These pro-Marcos accounts often engaged in Twitter parties in order to make different hashtags trend, throwing their support behind the dictator's son. Twitter says majority of these suspended accounts were already taken down as part of its routine actions. The company's platform manipulation and spam policy covers inauthentic engagements, or attempts that make accounts or content appear more popular or active than they are. Meantime, a popular Facebook group, Philippine History, rebrands into a space for pro-Marcos propaganda and disinformation. In November 2021, the group was renamed BBM Sara at Philippine History. The group was created in October 2019 and has more than 500,000 members. Members and administrators share posts in favor of the Marcoses, as well as Sara Duterte. Rappler reported in 2019 how the Marcos propaganda network on Facebook has long been seeding false narratives about the family in an attempt to rewrite history. President Rodrigo Duterte's party PDP-Laban says it will adopt Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte as its vice presidential candidate in the 2022 elections. In a statement Friday, January 21, the party says the PDP-Laban's decision is based on Sara's credentials, advocacies, and vision for the country. But party president Alfonso Cusi says this doesn't mean the PDP-Laban is also endorsing Sara's standard-bearer Bongbong Marcos for president. Cusi says the party is still evaluating who among the presidential candidates can continue the programs of the Duterte administration but declines to name names. He says they are not in talks with either Marcos or Senator Manny Pacquiao, adding that they may end up not endorsing any presidential bet at all.
Need more context, clarity, and perspective? Get the full picture with Rappler Plus. With exclusive content and events, you'll get an opportunity to discuss issues with reporters, experts, and featured guests while helping Rappler continue its fearless journalism. Join now.
A survey by the Social Weather Stations, or SWS, conducted in December 2021 shows fewer Filipinos are skeptical about getting vaccinated against COVID-19. The results show unwillingness to get a COVID-19 vaccine fell to just 8% by December from 18% of respondents in September 2021. The portion of respondents who were uncertain about getting vaccinated also fell to 6% in December from 19% in September. Of those still unvaccinated at the time the survey was conducted, SWS finds 35% said they were willing to get vaccinated. The survey also showed that at least 50% of Filipino adults say they got at least one vaccine dose. SWS also finds the percentage of those willing to get vaccinated against COVID-19 in December 2021 fell in areas across the country. More Filipinos are getting vaccinated against COVID-19 as the national government targets to inoculate 90% of the country's total population by June 2022. So far, at least 50% of Filipinos have been fully vaccinated. In related news, a study by Britain's Oxford University says people with mild COVID-19 who do not suffer any other traditional long COVID symptoms can still exhibit deteriorated attention and memory 6 to 9 months after infection. The researchers find out participants were significantly worse at recalling personal experiences, known as episodic memory, up to 6 months after infection. They also had a bigger decline in their ability to sustain attention over time, up to 9 months after infection. But the researchers say the individuals returned to normal after 6 months and 9 months respectively. A Reuters and Ipsos opinion poll this week reveals United States President Joe Biden's public approval rating falls to the lowest level of his presidency. The national poll, conducted January 19 to 20, finds 43% of U.S. adults approved of Biden's performance in office, while 52% disapproved, and the rest were not sure. After holding above 50% in his first months in office, Biden's popularity began dropping in mid-August 2021 as COVID-19 deaths surged across the country and the US-backed Afghan government collapsed. In a news conference Wednesday, January 20, Biden acknowledges Americans' frustration at the close of his first year in office. He vows to make progress fighting considerable challenges from the pandemic and inflation. The weekly poll shows the top issues concerning Americans are the economy and public health. The latest poll gathered responses from a total of 1,004 adults, including 453 Democrats and 365 Republicans. It's official, Netflix's mega hit Korean survival thriller series Squid Game is getting a second season. Netflix co-CEO and Chief Content Officer Ted Sarandos confirms this during an interview on Netflix's 2021 fourth quarter earnings. But no further details on the possible plot, production timeline, cast, or release date have been discussed. Sarandos says Squid Game is part of Netflix's entertainment franchises that have growth potential outside of the streaming service, which includes live events, games, and merchandise. The show was Netflix's biggest original series launch. It's also the streaming giant's #1 most viewed TV series to date, with over 1.6 billion hours of streaming and a global audience of over 142 million households.